Alright guys, welcome back to another video. The holidays are coming. As you know, everyone has their own little excuses. So today I'm going to cover why people quit weeks before the holidays instead of during the holidays. Because we always hear, during the holidays, people quit, they give up on their fitness journey. I think, or I know, it doesn't even start during the holidays or after the holidays. It starts way before the holidays, like a couple weeks before, with everyone pretty much being mentally checked out prior to the holidays. And they think it's okay. And it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to be that way. Yeah. So people don't fall off during the holidays. They fall off weeks before because mentally they're already decided to quit. They already decided that they quit. They made the decision to quit. You know? So let's go through it. First, the pre-holiday pass mentality. Yeah, people mentally approve cheating early. So to them, even mid-October, right before Halloween, that's like the precursor. Oh man, I'm gonna start all this eating all this candy. So they either overdo the cardio and then overdo the candy, or maybe they stayed on track, started eating the candy, and then they fell off track, or they still, they still stay with the workouts, ate the candy, but then they know come November, end of November, it's like the willpower goes away. So they mentally approve that they're gonna cheat, and some of them give up immediately, or they kind of give it time before they eventually give up. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be that way. I'm going to eat bad on Christmas anyway, so why would I need to work out the weeks leading up to it? It's not fun. There's no fun. Well, to me, I think it's good to keep working out anyways, whether you're going to cheat during the holidays or not, to keep your body in check, in shape, and to keep the habit going. Because once you stop, it's hard to regain the habit back. So it's better to just continue, keep the habit going. That would stronger in your brain to be able to come back from it easier if you do decide to quit and cheat. Because once you give up super early, by the time you even get to the holidays, to be honest with you, you're not even going to enjoy it that much. As much as you think you're going to enjoy it, you are not. So one future meal justifies weeks of overeating. So just that one day of eating everything they want to, it justifies that the weeks they're going to have of overeating. Oh man, Thanksgiving's coming. I'm going to eat all this stuff anyway, so why be super clean? Why not wait till January? And that same thinking is why they are where they are. And again, you don't have to be that way. You can play the game a little bit better. That way you do not lose all of the progress that you made this year. Next, they have this illusion of a month-long holiday. The holiday is only one day. One day for 1 week, maybe a couple days for the first week of November. Last week of November, and then a couple weeks in December. Depends on religion and all that stuff, whatever you participate in. So either way, it's not a month-long journey. So Thanksgiving is one day, Christmas is one day, even though a lot of us celebrate the day before Christmas, but that's a different story. People eat from November 1st to January 1st like it's a non-stop holidays. And that's true. They spent basically 2 months of overeating, and then when they feel bad, when they don't see progress, they look in the mirror immediately right after and think that they could undo 2 months worth of bad eating by just going to do cardio January 2nd. And they think that all this extra fat and glycogen and all that stuff is gonna go away. It's not gonna go away. It took you 2 months to add this excess fat to your body. You're not gonna get rid of it in just one extra day or 2 days. So I want you to ask yourself, what exactly are you celebrating on November 28th? Because if you're overeating weeks prior to it, you're not even really gonna get to sit down and enjoy it the way you should with your loved ones. You're already eating everything you want every single day. So what's November 28th? What's December 25th? I would argue that they'll be more enjoyable if you did not eat these foods that often. Then when you come and sit down with your family, you're able to enjoy the quality time and all the fun, just for those days, and then get back to normal day after that. And it works out for both of you. Next, momentum in fitness and in life goes both ways. So, positive momentum builds discipline. And guess what? It's going to keep compounding as long as you keep showing up, whether you feel like it or not. Negative momentum compounds laziness. Again, if you keep compounding negative momentum, you're going to keep compounding laziness. And it's not good at all. Wherever you water, that's where the plants are going to grow. Quitting early makes January 10th times easier. Quitting early makes January 10 times easy. Quitting early makes January 10 times harder. Yep. If you quit early now, then guess what? This will be a lot harder for you by the time January comes, because you're already forming that habit of quitting. And guess what? Once it's easier to quit the first time, it'll be easier the second time and the third time, so on and so forth. So what's the real problem? The real problem is people don't break diets. They break identity. So they have this identity of someone who eats whatever they want, lives however they want with no structure. And as they get on this diet plan and they start on their fitness journey, they have to recreate this new identity of someone who practices fit habits, eats fit foods, and all that stuff. So that's their new identity for an extended period of time. And now the holidays come, they're going to break that identity again by going back to their old ways. And guess what? More often than not, that's when you need to double down, because it's easy to break the habit and continue down that path. And by that time, you start hearing, I will restart in January. And that becomes a new identity again. And from experience, that has been my identity for years at some point. January 1st was my identity war. And keep in mind, I'm Haitian. January 1st is a holiday for us, other than New Year's Eve. So we celebrate New Year's Eve and our holidays. So you can only imagine the amount of food there is at home those times. They stop seeing themselves as someone trying. Yeah, before, when they started that fitness journey, they saw themselves as someone who is trying. So they put forth a lot more effort to see it through. And once the holidays come and comfort settles in, then they're like, oh, they stop seeing themselves as the person that's trying to get fit. And once that happens, again, it's really hard to go back and recreate that great momentum and habit that you had. Because remember, like I said in the last slide, momentum is great and it works both ways. So, next, the real holiday weight comes before the holiday, not during the holiday, not after the holiday, before the holiday. Because you don't gain 6 to 10 pounds from one holiday dinner. Weight gain comes from the 2 to 4 weeks before. The 2 to 4 weeks before of eating a bunch of nonsense is what causes the weight gain. Yeah, daily snacking plus overeating plus holiday mindset is what's keeping you in that constant hamster wheel of I can lose weight. I don't know why, but I gotta enjoy the holidays. My parents are here. It's like that whole mindset, that whole cycle right here is what's keeping you toast for life. And you want to change that, let me know. The all or nothing thinking. So yeah, you have someone who's very strict on their diet, but their willpower is very low. You go to the break room. Oh, one cookie. Fuck it. Next one comes. One weekend. Oh, we start next year. I don't need to start now. It's like them knowing that they'll start next year in their mind. They're already gonna do it, so they might as well live their life now, quote unquote. Which is not a good way to be or to live anyway. But a detour is not a U-turn, which I heard several times. It's not a U-turn. So you can't just turn back around and think that, okay, everything's going to snap back. You're going to have to struggle and re-enter and revolutionize yourself and become a new person again. Whereas if you stayed the course, we did some simple little tweaks like I would show you, you wouldn't be in this problem. Also, habits collapse, not diet. Food isn't the real enemy because we need food to survive. The types of food you eat, however, will determine your body composition, how you look and feel, etc. So, food is not the real enemy. It's what types of food you eat. So, you're your own enemy, especially going into the holidays because you can say no. People stop tracking, training, sleeping well, and moving. That's how all this collapsed. Yeah, because the routine falls apart, and not just the nutrition. Yeah, so routine falls apart, the nutrition falls apart, and then just it's hard to crawl back up. Also, December is a cheat code. In December, everything is busy. No, everything's empty. The gyms are empty. Less waiting for machines. That is true. So now is a good time if you're someone who doesn't really eat holiday foods like that. Now is the time to really double down. And you can actually get some leanness out of this too. If they show just the turkey, then you could go out with some extra vegetables and stuff in your box. That'd be great. But staying consistent in December puts you ahead in January. That's my motto. That is very true. It puts you ahead. It keeps you ahead of everybody else. And guess what? Come January 10th or February, oh man, looks like you got better. Well, I gained so much weight. It's like you didn't have to if you just listened to what I told you. This month separates the serious from the seasonal. So in January, that separates the real clients, the loyal people that are dedicated to themselves and their health. That time alone will show you the dedicated people and the non-dedicated people. Now, you can enjoy the holidays without ruining your progress. You don't have to choose one or the other. You cannot be overeating. Because if you are overeating, you are not going to lose weight. So train normally, get stronger in all the lifts, keep your protein and steps high, because that is how you're gonna maintain your weight. Actual holiday meals are guilt-free. Now they're not guilt-free for everybody. If you're eating nonsense all month and think that this is guilt-free, it's not. But if you've been staying consistent and strict on your diet for this whole time until then yeah, they are guilt-free. You can enjoy them because you're strong enough to get back on the horse when most people are not. So another rule: normal days stay normal, and all in holiday meals stay holiday meals. So if it's a normal day and there's no fancy stuff to eat the regular meals that you normally eat. And during the holidays, you can step back a little bit and have some fun with the family. Simple. The real truth is, most holidays don't fail because holidays are hard. They fail because they mentally checked out weeks early. That's true. Because once you already gave it up weeks early, it's kind of like, yeah, there's no point anymore. And that's how the downward spiral goes. It's a disaster at that point. So you want to avoid that. We don't want to, and now that we know that, and I'm bringing that to your attention, it's your job to make sure that you don't let yourself be that this winter. The closing message is: do not let 2 days of celebration turn into a 2 month relapse. Yeah, Black Friday, Thanksgiving, 2 days of celebration turns into 2 months of relapse to where come February or January, you're looking fluffy. We don't want that. That's not what this is for. Stay consistent and enter January ahead of everyone else. Yes, it's not too late. So if you stay consistent now, by the time you enter January and everyone's freaking out about the gym and New Year's resolution, you can just stay ahead of them and be ahead of them. To me, that sounds like a great idea. But who am I? All right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Be safe. Until next time.